Hello, we are back. I fixed the microphone so you can hear me again. And this time we are going to be playing Cooper's Rock, which is one of the newer courses in the area. It's still somewhat under construction. We've recently gotten uh, tee pads on all of the white tees and most of the blue and yellow tee pads. So this course has three different layouts. You have the white tees, which is an intermediate, you have the blue, which is the advanced, and then you have the gold or the yellow tee pads, which is the pro tee pads. So I'm going to be playing the whites today. As I talked about in my Dorsey's Knob video, I'm just playing the shorter layouts of all four of the local courses here, just to give you a perspective of where I'm starting at right now, moving forward into future videos. So yeah, gonna be playing the whites today in Coopers. It's a beautiful day. It's like 60 degrees out, and let's get started on hole one. So hole one is a little over 200 feet. It's just down this corridor. You can play it as a forehand or a backhand, depending on what you're more comfortable with. I recently just picked up a new harp to replace my overly flippy one, and I'm gonna throw that on a forehand here and see what we can start out with. Not a bad start. All right, so this is one of the best drives on this hole, and something that I didn't mention on the tee pad is this is set up sort of on a cliff, so you can't quite tell, but if I were to miss this putt, it goes off of like a 10-ish foot cliff, and then I'd have to play from way down below. So it's a little bit intimidating no matter how close you are, but not a bad place to be for a birdie putt to start us off. So good start. Hole two, we've got a 400 footer. It's way down this corridor off to the right. You really can't see it from here. So this is a par four. There are several par varieties on this course. I forget exactly what even shooting par is for like stroke counts, but it's up there. There's several par fives and par fours throughout the course. So, and I keep debating whether or not I want to throw my wave or my hatchet. I'm gonna go hatchet today, I think. See what happens. And that's this course for you. You're gonna hit trees. So I'm kind of in some unfamiliar territory. I haven't been out this side much. I've got about 300 feet to the pin that way, so I'm off course a little bit. I think I'm just going to try to punch one up the gut. Unfortunately, the rough here tends to have a lot of pricker bushes, so I kind of have that to contest with. I think I'm going to try and forehand around all of this. There's a gap off to the right. I'm not sure if you can see. I'm going to just try and put it up high on some anhyzer. A little bit of a roll. Didn't really pan out, but it's out there. We'll have a shot at par here. So we actually have a little bit of a long birdie look, probably like 50, 60 feet out. So let's see if we can get it. There's a big pile of poop right in front of my disc. Nope. All right. It'll be a par. So not a bad start still. All right, so hole three, we got a 250 footer just straight ahead. The main fairway that I take is off to the right here, but I have seen people just try and shoot this middle gap. The other tees are off to the left, and so that's more of their fairways. I tend to disc up pretty heavily here, throwing like my Roadrunner. I'm tempted to drop down to my Fox, but I think I'm gonna stick with the Roadrunner for today and just play a little flip up through this gap here. So I missed right. It's unfortunate. So I hit a pretty early tree. I'm probably only 50, 60 feet off the tee pad. So got just a straight up shot. I'm gonna throw an Envy. See if we can make a recovery throw here. It's a danger of stepping up. Very much slipped on those leaves, and it's looking like a likely birdie will have a long putt. So, ever the optimist, misspoke on that last throw. Meant to say likely bogey will have a long putt. Birdie is out of the window on this hole, but we'll shoot for the par here, but probably expecting a bogey. All right, bit of an awkward shot, big downhill putt for bogey. All right, we'll take the bogey save. Rough hole, normally a little better on that one. Hole 4, 170 footer, just straight up the line. A little uphill though. I throw the river here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. See if we can avoid hitting a tree on this hole. Hit 2 trees that time, actually. I'm gonna do a little Anheuser route around these trees, I think, and hopefully sneak it in. More likely, just give myself a nice, easy par attempt. Put that way wide. Is going to be a hard par putt. So, in case hole 1 at my Dorsey Knob video tricked you, I'm actually not good at putting. So I've got like a 30 footer. Shouldn't be too hard. My confidence is not through the roof on this though. Slightly left. I'll go finish this up. All right, another bogey. Those were 2 bogeys in a row on pretty easy holes. So, not exactly where I want to be right now, but we're moving into the first par 5. See if we can get lucky. All right, as promised, hole 5. Got our first par 5. It's only 550 feet. If you get lucky through the trees, eagle opportunities do appear. And that's kind of what I need right now. So just get lucky through the trees. There's not much more to say on this one. I'm gonna throw Hatchet again, give him another shot, and just try and get it out straight and let it flip, do the talking. Come out. A little too flippy. Put it through the gap that I wanted, but kind of down the hill off the fairway a bit, but made distance, and that's really what matters on this hole. Alright, so I'm playing like directly into the sun right now, so you might not be able to see things too well. You still can't see the basket from here. That was like a 250-foot drive. Not amazing, but pretty good in these woods. Unfortunately, I don't have much of a line, and so I think I'm just gonna try and tomahawk out and see if I can create some more distance and get myself to a spot that I'll have a better line in the future. So I threw that about 20 feet into a very dead tree. I'm sure you heard it. Not ideal. So good news, I have a slightly better line from this spot. Bad news is it's not much better. So I think I'm gonna try to throw a forehand to the right of this tree right ahead of me and hope that it turns out a little bit and gives me something. Little bit of a roller, back on the fairway, and that's really what I needed right now. So we'll take it. I think I'm gonna throw an envy here and just hope to get lucky. Did not get lucky. We'll have a long par putt. You can finally see the basket on our fifth throw. This is a really long putt for par. It's a rough day. I do not like being in a likely +2 score by hole 5. Prefer being under par because we've got a tough hole coming up. But every hole on this course I think is birdieable or eagleable if you get lucky. So just have to hope my luck turns around. But it starts here with a good putt. So let's do it. A good effort. It'll be a bogey, but I didn't quit on it, so that's what matters. All right, hole 6. This is probably the only truly open hole on the course. It is 335 feet downhill. This is one that I would love to make back a stroke on. So we're gonna punch Firebird, and hopefully it doesn't fade too quickly, and also hopefully it doesn't punch all the way down the hill and overshoot the basket. So looking for somewhere in between, preferably this just goes in. It's in the gully right in front of the basket. Should be pretty easy birdie putt. We'll take it. So you might be asking yourself, Steven, I thought you said it was 60 degrees outside and a beautiful day. Why am I seeing so much snow on the ground? That's because in Morgantown, we don't like to follow normal weather patterns. So last week we had a like 70-degree day. It was beautiful, and then a few days later we had a 20-degree day where we got 2 inches of snow. And now today is 2 days after that, and it's 60 again. So that is the weather pattern that we get to deal with. All right, hole 7. We've got the newest par 5 on the course. It is 650 feet from the white tee. It's a bit of a monster. It goes down this power line a little ways and then curves right. There's a little road that you can play up, and then it's up the hill and into the woods a little bit. Birdied it a few times. Tends to be pretty rare that I birdie it. So hopefully today is one of those days. We already made one birdie back. Let's keep the cycle going. Always shoot to be on that side path leading up. I might have made it. Might be tucked into the woods a little bit. We'll see. So that was one of the better drives I've had on this hole, probably, at least from that tee pad. I am probably 50 feet up this path. My watch is saying that was just under a 400-foot drive. So a great spot to be. In a puddle, though. So it'll be a little bit of an awkward shot. I'm not sure if I'm forehanding or backhanding it yet. Let's go backhand. We'll keep throwing hatchet until it works. There's a little bit of solid ground. Great throw. We are up there. We might even have an eagle putt. When I said eagle putt, I meant the same putt that I did on one at Dorsey's Knob. I'm going to need to replicate through trees to have a shot. And it's also an elevated basket. So probably not. But that's what I said last time, and it went in. So we'll give it a whirl. I got to make sure whatever I do, I don't roll an ankle on a rock. Maybe I should just be smart about this and put it up there. But yeah, let's throw it instead of jump putting. That seems smart. It's not amazing, not parked, but it is a genuine birdie putt. So we'll take it. 30-footer, just like before, but this time I'm gonna make it. What did I say? So for those of you who don't know this course, the fact that I bogeyed, what was it, 3 and 4, but I birdied 7 is just kind of silly. But we'll take it. So we've got hole 8 here, 340 feet through the woods. It's another should be birdieable. It's a par 4. Again, just got to get lucky through the trees. That's kind of the story of this course. So we'll see what we can do. Not exactly the intended route, but didn't hit any trees. We're down there. All right. Honestly, phenomenal drive. I've got about 100 to the basket. Was a little off to the right. I mean, it's a layup birdie, but you know we got to try. And when I said try, I meant lay it up for birdie. Going into hole 9, another par 4, 370 feet. It's way down there. Again, just got to get lucky through the trees. So I think, actually, Hatchet worked out so well on 7. I think I got to give him another chance. Put it up this left gap here. Let it turn over. Hope that it comes back, stays on the fairway. Just need to not overturn it. Didn't overturn it because I hit a bunch of branches because I threw it too high. If it weren't for this tree right here, I would have like a perfect line to the basket. Instead, got a bit of an awkward shot. I think I'm gonna throw my eagle. Hope that it turns just a little bit to get onto the path and then fades down the rest of the path. So let's see what happens. I was like 6 inches off from perfection. I can't even be mad. Should be a par. All right, once again, 100 feet from the basket. This is apparently the thing for this channel. I give myself 100 footers and try to make content out of it. So let's see if I can capitalize. That was pretty good. Coming out of it with par. All right, made it to the back 9. Hole 10, probably the hardest hole on the course, at least in my opinion. It is a par 4, 517 feet. It has basically one perfect corridor to go down, and if you do that, it's not too bad. But alongside of that corridor, you got out of bounds anything stream and beyond, and you've got a lot of pricker bushes on the left side, so you really gotta kind of coast straight down the middle. Go and hatch it again, hoping that I don't regret it. That sucks. Barely stayed in, like 4 or 5 feet off of the stream. You can probably hear it. Got an awkward shot here. I think kind of wanted to try a forehand or a flip up. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna throw a forehand flip down this alley here, hopefully. Didn't ricochet out of bounds, so we'll take it. All right, we're like 220 feet out. Kind of got a straight corridor. I'm gonna try to throw my fox and just kind of punch the gut. See what happens. Ground was a little softer than I expected. We're in the fairway. It'll probably be a bogey. It's expected from this hole. All right. You know what time it is. We're 92 feet out. The hundreds have been close, so means this one has to go in. I'm gonna try out the orange one instead this time though. See if it makes a difference. Scary putt, just because I'm a coward. Great catch by the basket. I should have taken my time with that a little bit more, but it worked out. Hole 11 used to be probably the easiest hole on the course. When they put in the new tee pad, beautiful tee pad by the way, they did amazing work with all of these. But when they put it in, they changed it up a little bit, and it's become a fair bit harder, but it still should be easy. It's just in my head. I'm gonna throw a glitch, which actually little Cooper's Rock glitch. So it's back home, and Just have to throw a slight turnover shot, and then it'll just coast down. It's only like 200 feet. And as I said, this hole is in my head since it changed tee pad spots. And so this is going to be hopefully a par. I forgot that it snowed, and so my white Cooper's Rock disc is kind of invisible, but I found it. It's over here. Hopefully I lined up the camera in a way that you can kind of see both me and the basket. Not that anything's going to happen, but, you know, just in case. All right, left myself a tester. A bogey. Oh, what a weird round. And for bogey. On to the next. Hole 12, we've got another par 5, is 500 feet. It's down this way and then around again. It's complicated to explain. You'll see it when we get there. I am going to not throw hatchet this time. He's been struggling. I've been struggling with him. I'm going to throw my trusty wave and hope that I get enough turn out of him. Okay, I said hopefully I get enough turn out of him. Apparently, hopefully I get enough fade out of him. Might have thrown it into the OB Creek on the right. We'll see. So, skirting the edge once again. Barely kept this one in. Unfortunately, I've got an awkward shot with this bush in the way. We're going to make something out of it, though. Going to go harp here. As much as it's supposedly more stable than my other one was, I saw on hole 1 that it flips a fair bit. So I'm hoping I can get enough flip out of it that it doesn't just crash and burn over the river, and instead kind of puts it up on the green. I'd love to get an eagle on this one. Not quite to the green. Very, very puttable though. All right, so I've eagled this hole twice probably. This is by far the closest eagle look that I've ever had. So let's not squander it. It's a hell of a way to correct those first 2 holes of the back 9. Back to 1 down. All right, hole 13. It's a par 4, 400 feet. Goes down this corridor and then doglegs left uphill. It's probably about 200 and 200. This is a bit of a struggle for me. Very easy to end up in those left woods or even the right woods. Hard to stay on the path, I should say. So we're going to try to not do that. Or we're going to try to stay on the path, I should say. Oh, that's so good. Hitting a tree at the base of the hill, perfectly fine. I would not have made it much further up the hill anyway. That's a great start to this hole. So, as much as I said that, this is not a great spot to be. Basically just have a mess of trees in front of me with very little in the way of any gaps. I think I've got an eagle forehand gap, maybe. Hopefully I can get enough flip out of it and not hit any of these early trees. I think this is the best I've ever played this hole. Very reasonable, pretty easy putt. Yeah, I gotta have more putting confidence. I'm really not that bad. Just get in my head a lot. See you on the next one. Hole 14. It is a par 3, 271 feet downhill, slightly to the right. I would love to birdie this one. This used to be my favorite hole. I've struggled back and forth with it for a while. I think this is the white tee. I've heard unconfirmed reports that this is changing to the blue tee and that they're building a new white tee. But for now, this is what we've got. This is what I know. I'm going to say this is the white tee. That might change in the future, but we're going to put it down there. Get through that. Rough kick back and roll. That was looking really good. It was getting sneaky. It's okay. I never should have said I wanted to birdie this one because, you know, we're 100 feet away again. So, oh my God. That's life. Hole 15, got a par 4, just under 400 feet. I am going to wipe that last hole from my memory. It was too painful. But nonetheless, we've got hole 15. It's probably my favorite hole on the course. It feels like disc golf. I have no other way to describe it. It's beautiful. Down a long ways, then off to the left. I've never thrown eagle on this one. I probably shouldn't for the first time, but why not? Oh yeah. Little shorter than I normally go. Great throw though. Felt so smooth. So apparently I'm actually just a horrible judge of how far things are going today. Because this is actually a fantastic throw. I had no reason to hate on eagle like that. It wasn't short. This is where I want to be. So, and by that I mean 100 feet from the basket. Whoops. We're going to pretend like that foot fault didn't just happen, or live fault, whatever. It happens. Let's drain this for an eagle. Eagle for the eagle. Let's go! Oh! I'm sorry. That was not very graceful. I've never had 2 eagles in a game before. That was crazy. I'm feeling a little bit energized after that last one. We've got hole 16, another par 4, just under 400 feet again, just straight out there. Lots of trees to duck and weave between. I'm gonna go Roadrunner. I don't really trust Hatchet anymore. Giving a lot of hate on him. He's fine. I know Roadrunner a little bit more, and I'm probably gonna regret saying this. I'm gonna throw it into a tree. But we'll see. It could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot worse. I've got a more open forehand gap that I didn't realize over on the left. I think I'm going to take that. I was originally planning on just trying to sneak through everything on the right side, but this feels like a safer bet. I think that's perfect. Right. just to keep everything legit, because this is like a 15-footer. Just gonna putt with the harp, and we move on. Putting confidence through the roof right now. Hole 17, we've got par 3, supposedly only 165 feet. I think it's a little bit longer than that. I think as much as I want to be really confident and throw this harp again, because it has been going really well, I trust the Firebird on this one. It tends to go really well, and I can throw it a little bit easier because I don't have to crank it quite so much. So, let's see what we can do. Really hyped up that Firebird and threw it right into a tree. Yeah, so this hole is definitely not 165 feet because I probably threw that like 100-ish feet off the tee pad, and guess what? About 100-footer. So, back at it again. Little high. Oh, smacked by the branch. I think we'll be taking a par here. So something I forgot to mention about this hole is that it's kind of on this peninsula, and so it's on a hilltop essentially. And so anything on this side, putting, gets a little bit intimidating because you miss, you go flying past the basket, and a short miss rolls away. Things can go wrong. So I'm gonna try and keep my nerves calm and just make this 20-footer. Should be pretty easy, hopefully. Okay, a par save. We'll take it. So 18, last hole, par 5. This is the big one, or another big one, because they've added some more par 5 since then. But 661 feet from the white tees, par 5, good way to close it out. Wave went really well on the last par 5. I think I'm going to take that one again. Just got a text from my girlfriend. It's Taco Bell time. Not sponsored, but I would be sponsored. Taco Bell, reach out. Taco Bell time after this, which means she's done running and is ready for food. So let's get this done. Skied it a little bit. Okay, it's fine. Nothing to write home about, but probably about 200 feet out there. Chip away the distance. This is almost exactly where you don't want to be. I've got a tight tunnel shot. I need a miracle forehand. I think I'm gonna go eagle here. Actually, no. Let me go road runner. Oh, I could take this wide route actually. Oh, this looks so much more trustworthy. Okay. Sorry. Changing my mind. Trying to find the best path. I think I've got it. And to all you Hatchet fans, Hatchet's coming back out. He's ready to play. Let's see if he can keep his spot in the bag. So not the route that I had planned, but we're up there. We take those. I think I'm nicknaming this Hatchet Miracle Max because he's performing miracles for me. All right, I've got like 250 to the pin. I've got a wet foot spot. Just gonna forehand harp through this big gap here. It should turn a little bit and come back for me. Do I do that? Yeah. Oh, slippery back foot. It's up there though. It's fine. Not exactly what we wanted. You guys are gonna love this. It's probably about 100 foot. All right. So not 100 feet. Hate to say it. More like 50. Let's close out strong. Loves to finish up with a birdie here. It'd be a very solid score for this course if I were to get a birdie here. I mean, it's already a solid one, but let's get this birdie. Oh, that was so close. All right. So that was Cooper's Rock. It is a phenomenal course. The people who have designed it and have been working on it, phenomenal work. Um, I know them personally. I think of them as some pretty good friends, and they've just hit it out of the park. It's probably my favorite course in the area. And in case you did not know, many of the people watching probably do, but there is a PDGA sanctioned tournament that is coming up in May. It is going to be the first one held at Cooper's Rock. I'll probably put a link to it in the description below. It's going to be on Disc Golf Scene. Please come out. It should be a fantastic time. And I know that Nick, the course designer and the tournament director, would be so happy to see a big turnout. So please, if you're free, sign up. It should be a great time. And I'll see you guys in the next one.